Hey guys, my name is Flux. I'm a custom jewelry designer, and today I thought we'd go over the practices of reusing old heirloom jewelry or old engagement rings to create new designs. There's a lot of videos on YouTube that show, repurposing old jewelry, but I feel like having done this for such a long time, because I actually started my career repurposing old jewelry, there are a lot of things that clients need to know before jumping into this. The one thing that I would say before we get started at all, any clients who want to do this, you really need to make sure that one, all of your gold is the right carat. So you cannot be mixing 10 karat with 18 or 14. It all needs to be standard and it all needs to be the same color. So that's very important. And another thing is, a lot of the times clients will bring in jewelry, multiple pieces, and those multiple pieces will have different carats of diamonds. So they'll have different sizes of diamonds, which will, as a result, reflect the final design. So you guys need to be a little bit open, a little bit flexible when we are designing using existing pieces, right? So the first pro is that we can reuse your diamonds. It's very fun to be able to reuse your grandma's diamonds, or repurposing from an old engagement ring. These give really great opportunities to not just let them sit in the dust, so it's always fun. Another pro is I can actually be a little bit more on like the ethical side, in the sense that because you are reusing your old diamonds or gemstones, well, it's not necessarily contributing to the mining of new diamonds, right? You're repurposing something that is already on the market. Like, I'll have clients sometimes who will go to vintage or resellers and they'll buy an existing sapphire or an existing thing and just unmount it to remount it into a new piece. That can be a little bit trickier. It can be a little bit harder to find. You have to be patient to really come across the stone that you like. But if you're not in a hurry and you like the hunt, that can be a fun option. And that's kind of it for the pros. It's a very short list, I'm very sorry, but that's the reality. So now we're gonna go into the cons, because the cons are super important. One of the main things that I don't recommend for reusing old jewelry is really that it is actually not a cost-efficient method. Why is this? Because when we're reusing your old jewelry, basically the whole process is very labor intensive. And so even though you may be saving technically on gold, you're going to be paying more in labor, because we have to take the old jewelry, we have to break it apart, right? We have to pay to unset the stones. A lot of the time, if you're not familiar with jewelry fabrication, when you join two pieces of metal together, we use solder. Kind of think of it as kind of like a glue. But a lot of these old pieces will be covered in solder, which cannot just be remelted. And so we actually have to strip all of the pieces down. It's very labor intensive. So even if you are saving on gold, like I said, it's going to cost you a lot more. Another reason why is because when we're casting pieces, right? When we're casting jewelry, a lot of the times we cast, 20, 30, 40, 50 pieces at a time. They kind of look like these giant trees with all these pieces. But when we're reusing a client's old gold, because we don't know the quality of their gold, we cannot actually mix it with new gold. So we cannot mix it with anybody else's pieces. They need to be done separately. So all of the labor that normally would have been going into, 20 pieces is now going into one piece. It's not a cost-effective method. I really only recommend clients to reuse their old gold if it's really for sentimental reasons. If you want to reuse your old gold just for kind of like saving costs, cutting corners, I totally get it, 100%. Why wouldn't you? I would actually recommend just bringing in the old gold and we will exchange it for new gold, and you really only lose a few dollars every gram. Another thing is that when we're reusing old gold, this is like a little fun thing, but not all gold is the same mixture. Because let's say if you have 18 karat gold, that means that the percentage is 75% pure gold, 25% alloys. And these alloys can be anything. And so sometimes in order to cut costs, the manufacturers will put really poor quality alloys. These alloys are not necessarily meant to be recast multiple times. If you're casting old gold with poor quality alloys, which I have seen many times, your gold is going to come out like Swiss cheese. It's going to come out super porous, abrasive. It has nothing to do with the quality of the casting and the craftsmanship. It really just means that the gold is not good. I don't know if you guys have ever seen on, Google or anything, those pictures of rings literally cracking in two. That is a result of poor quality gold. So this is why it's so much easier to just, in theory, say we're going to reuse our old gold, but in reality, there are so many more elements that go into it, and that's why I just recommend buying new gold and reusing your existing diamonds. And lastly, you want to make sure that you have a little bit of a buffer in terms of budget to make up for broken diamonds. This is something that is a reality. We do find that, how can I say, my average is usually about 1 out of every 20 diamonds is going to be broken. So you may not be able to see it by eye because a lot of the times, the prongs will be holding the diamonds in place, but as soon as we unset the prongs, the diamonds are basically going to crack. This is caused by, wear and tear. If you have a piece that's, 30, 40, 50 years old, really like an heirloom jewel, this is something that I would keep in mind, that you should keep a little bit of a buffer in case this happens. I hope this was helpful. I'd love to know if you guys have had jewels made, what your experience was. I realized that this video was a little bit more on the negative side because there's a lot more cons, but I wanted to kind of give you a realistic approach to what it would look like recreating heirloom jewelry. And yeah, if not, thanks for watching. We do have a lot of short form content on our Instagram if you prefer those kind of fun little 1-minute breakdowns. Definitely check it out. If not, you can always send me a DM if you are interested. My links are down below. My name is Flux, and I'll see you next time.